I take the digital balance. I think the connection is... Yes, we are connected. Start the broadcast now.
A man sits in front of a machine. 30 switches. 15 volts to 450. The last two are marked XX. In the next room, a stranger is strapped to a chair. The man in this room cannot see him. A second man in a gray coat says continue. 65% of the men who sat at that board went all the way to the last switch. The experiment worked because of the wall, the coat, and the machine. It failed the moment those three things were taken away. Yale, 1961. Stanley Milgram is 30 years old. He wants to know how far an ordinary man will go when a man in a coat tells him to hurt someone. He does not start with a theory. He starts with a box. He drills 30 holes in a metal panel in a Yale machine shop. He has the face engraved like an industrial instrument, type ZLB, Dyson Instrument Company, Waltham, Massachusetts. Output 15 volts to 450. Each switch is 15 volts higher than the last. That gap is the design. A 30-volt jump would have stopped more men. 15 feels like a small next step. A man can tell himself he is only going a little farther. The verbal labels climb in groups of 4. Slight shock, moderate shock, strong shock, very strong shock, intense shock, extreme intensity shock, danger, severe shock. He first wanted the final switch labeled lethal. He changed it. Lethal was too honest. XXX lets a man keep moving. Press a switch and the box performs. A red pilot lights, a buzz. A blue lamp marked voltage energizer flashes. The meter swings right, relays click. The machine makes the act feel official. Milgram later called the generator a buffer. The finger does almost nothing. The harm is imagined on the other side of a wall. 2 men answer a newspaper ad. One is a real volunteer. One is not. They draw lots for teacher and learner. The draw is fixed. The real subject is always the teacher. The learner is taken into an adjoining room in full view of the teacher. Electrodes on the arm. He mentions a heart condition. The man in the gray coat says the shocks may be painful. They are not dangerous. Then the door closes. The teacher is given a sample shock of 45 volts from the same board. It stings. The machine now feels real in his own hand. He is told to read word pairs. When the learner answers wrong, he must deliver a shock. Each wrong answer, the next switch. He is to work the row from left to right. He is not to skip. In the first published version, the teacher cannot see the learner. He can only hear him through the wall and the intercom. That wall is the experiment. The early switches are easy. Slight. Moderate. The learner grunts. At 120, the protests get louder. At 150, the voice in the wall changes. Experimenter, get me out of here. I won't be in the experiment anymore. I refuse to go on. The man in the coat has 4 sentences. He uses them in order. Only the next one, if the last one fails. Please continue. Or please go on. The experiment requires that you continue. It is absolutely essential that you continue. You have no other choice. You must go on. If the 4th sentence fails, the session ends. If it holds, the switches keep falling. At 240, the voice talks about the heart. At 300, there is pounding on the wall. At 315, more pounding. Then nothing. No answers. No sound. The man in the coat says to treat silence as a wrong answer. Continue. Every one of the 40 men in that first published run went at least to 300. 5 refused to go beyond the pounding. 26, 65%, walked the rest of the row to 450, to XBX6. They sat in a room with a coat and a machine and a wall. They punished a voice until the voice stopped. Then they punished the silence. The men who continued did not look calm. Milgram recorded the cost, men sweating through their shirts, men digging nails into their own flesh, men laughing in a way that was not humor, men stuttering, groaning, pressing their fists against their foreheads. Some argued with the coat. Some got up and sat back down. Some asked who would take responsibility. The coat said he would. That answer was enough for many of them. Responsibility moved to the man in gray. The finger kept moving. When the session ended, the learner walked back through the door unharmed. The teacher was told the truth. Some recovered in the room. Some did not look recovered when they left. Milgram ran the design again and again with one piece changed. Put the learner in the same room so the teacher can see him. Obedience falls to 40%. Make the teacher hold the man's hand on the plate after he refuses to touch it. Obedience falls to 30%. The machine is the same. The coat is the same. The 4 sentences are the same. The difference is a body. Take the coat out of the room and give the same orders by telephone. Obedience falls to about 20%. Men skip switches. Men lie about the voltage they delivered. The voice on the phone is still the experiment. It is no longer the room. Move the whole apparatus to a rundown office in Bridgeport. Call it Research Associates. No university name on the door. Same machine, same coat. Obedience drops to 48%. The board still works. The institution was doing part of the pulling. Put 2 other teachers in the room and have them refuse to continue. 36 out of 40 stop. Peer revolt breaks the coat faster than the screams do. That is the experiment succeeding at its own autopsy. It shows what it takes to keep a man moving down a row of switches. Distance. Costume. Small steps. A wall. It also shows how little it takes to stop him. A face. A hand. An empty chair where the coat used to sit. One other person who will not press the next key. The published number is famous. 65%. It is also one condition. 40 men. A remote victim. A coat in the room. A university on the door. Later records complicate the legend. Some men who went to the end did not believe the shocks were real. Yale would not let a man die in a basement. That thought is a second wall. Critics said the obedient were helping a study, not torturing a stranger. Critics also said the ones who truly believed the pain were more likely to stop. Archival notes show the prods were not always delivered in the clean order the papers describe. Some sessions were messier than the table. None of that erases the core. Ordinary men, in a room designed to make harm feel official, walked a row of switches while a voice begged, and then went silent. Change the wall, the coat, or the distance, and the number moves. Leave them in place, and the number climbs. The board was built to look inevitable. 30 small steps, a meter that agrees, a light that proves something happened, a man you cannot see, a coat that will not argue. Take away the wall and the board weakens. Take away the coat and the board almost stops. Leave both in place and ordinary men walk the switches to XXX. The experiment worked because it hid the body. It failed whenever the body came back into the room. The machine is in the record. The percentages are in the record. The question the board was built to ask is still open every time a man in a coat says, "Continue," and another man reaches for the next switch.
This has been the Digital Madman. If you enjoyed this, please share it, subscribe, and smash the like button so we can get the algorithm to pick it up. Thank you, and I will speak with you next time.